Apparently even when he's not with me now, I can't resist sitting outside a church. I'm not skiving off in the middle of the day. It's just gone 3:30. Got a doctor's appointment. Had a blood test last week to check that my new blood pressure medication isn't killing me. And now we're going and get the results, get my blood pressure checked. I'm hoping he's going to be able to weigh me, because as promised yesterday, I tried to weigh myself yesterday morning, but our scales aren't working, so I haven't been able to. So I don't think I've put the weight back on that I lost back in January, but I guess this nice man in here is going to be able to tell me, although I am a little bit nervous about how much weight fluctuation there is in the different times a day, going from, I don't know, it was 6:30, 7 o'clock when I was doing it before in the morning, how much it then fluctuates during the day, how much all the clothes and stuff I'm wearing and my shoes and everything weighs. I'll probably say I've put on a stone because of all that. I don't think I've put on a stone. I think I look thinner in the face. I've got a beard out. It might just be that my beard's shorter. The reason I'm sat here doing this now, I'm a little bit nervous because I'm only about a 5-minute drive away from my work, so there's every chance that there could be kids that I know walk past while I'm vlogging in public, and that will lead to much ridicule. It's bad enough that they all keep mocking me about Clive and this Ghost of Clive Twitter account that's harassing me. I hope that's not one of them. So yeah, I'm just trying to get a little bit of the vlog in now, because yet again last night I mean, it was nearly 1 o'clock when I went to bed again. This whole trying to increase the production values on the vlog thing, it was fine last week when I was getting it edited at 4:30, 5 o'clock, all ready to release 12 hours in advance. When you're not even finishing recording it until 10 o'clock at night, and then you've got to edit that and a Football Manager video and this, that and the other. I'm shattered. I've not been to bed that late 2 nights in a row for a long time. And with the old 6 o'clock alarm as well, I've had about 8.5, 9 hours sleep across the last 2 nights. It's not very much for me. Very tired. Ugh. I don't really get why we never come to this church. I can only assume he doesn't know it's here, because the parking's great. Big wide open spaces. It's near to home. I don't get it. What's he got against this one? I think it must just be because we've never shown it to him. I'm still nearly 15 minutes early for this doctor's appointment. Rather than going in and falling asleep in the waiting room, which is I think that is what I will do. You lot are officially on keep Kev awake duty, so I'll just chat with you out here in the car. Yesterday's vlog, that was a bit long, wasn't it? Let me know down there. Nobody's moaned about it, which is interesting. Haven't had a chance to look at the analytics for it yet, because I don't get to see that for like a couple of days after it all comes out. I was worried that it was far too long, but it got to a point where I chopped so much out that the only way I was going to get it any shorter was to just start chopping out questions, and I thought the ones I did were all pretty good questions. So I chose to let them in. Would be interested in hearing your feedback in future. Should that become 2 different vlogs? Should I just talk less? Short answers to questions? It all comes out of when I first started doing YouTube and people were asking for Q&As, like on the gaming channel, when you do a Q&A for your first 500 subs and you get 2 questions and you have to stretch it out into a 10-minute episode, you kind of get used to answering questions in a lot of detail. And then when you get a little bit bigger and you're getting 30 or 40 questions, yeah, I'm still trying to get through them all, but I'm also trying to give them all the same kind of detail I used to give. So rather than it becoming a 10-minute thing that I'm really trying to pad out, it becomes 40, 45 minutes of content that there's no way I'm going to get that down to 15 minutes. So I guess we need to get to the point where I'm a little bit more selective with the questions we use. That sounds complicated. Might put them out to vote. Do a little knockout competition of questions before every... I could do a knockout competition of questions before every Q&A. Genius stuff. I've been giving a lot of thought today about what I can do to grow both of the channels. It was one of the topics that came up on the Q&A yesterday, and I think just being asked that question, and it sort of sparked something in my mind, and I am thinking about what we could do. I would like to set a fire under the 2 of them and just have a little bit of an I'd feel much more comfortable going into September if there were 30,000 subscribers across the two channels, rather than the current 12 or 13,000 like there is at the moment. So I guess what we're really looking for, should we make it a Kev's campaign? We'll double the subscriber base. Here you go, 25,000 subscribers across the two channels by the 1st of September. That's what we're aiming for. I have no idea at the moment how I'm going to achieve it. I warned you about this the day that I handed in my notice, that my mind will start coming up with stuff to keep me focused and targeted now that I've got that goal in mind. And yeah, 25,000 by the 1st of September. Now I've set myself the goal and the target, I'll hopefully figure out how to crack it now. I've done unreasonable, ridiculous targets before and they always seem to come off. A lot of people, when I first started, and I think it was during my 1,000 subscriber Q&A, which was around about Christmas 2015, I think, maybe a little bit after, I set the crazy target of 10,000 by the end of that year, and so many people laughed, and we got there. Just about. It was like a couple of weeks after, but that's getting there as far as I'm concerned. So let's be crazy again. Let's say 25,000, not just 25,000 on that one channel, 25,000 across the two channels by September the 1st. That gives us 6 months to double the amount of people. I mean, if everyone who was subscribed to the gaming channel just came across to this one, then that almost does it anyway. As long as you're watching the videos, doubles the money, everyone feels a little bit more comfortable, and Kev doesn't have to sell his kidney or his PC when it gets to October and he can't pay the bills. That's what we're all in this for, really. So I am open to ideas and suggestions from you. I will let my mind do its thing, and it will no doubt come up with something. But if you are a YouTuber and you've done things in the past that have worked, or if you have watched other people go through this process before and you've got some suggestions for things that they did to move things up another level, I'm trying different things like we talked about yesterday. But if there's a little bit of secret sauce that I'm missing that you know about, go on, share the wealth. Let old Kev figure it out. It would be awesome. It would be really, really cool to get to September and there be no doubt at all in my mind that it was all going to work okay. At the moment, it'll probably be fine. I think things will increase enough, it will be fine. But at the moment we hit that 25,000, then I'm going to be pretty confident that it will definitely be fine. And it just eases that worry, that fear a little bit, which would be awesome. Right, what's the time? You've kept me awake for 5 minutes, thank you very much. I'm going to go to the doctors and hopefully not have my medication changed again, because this is the first time in ages that I've had loads of side effects. So it'd be nice not to, no doubt they're messing up my insides and I have to change onto something else that makes my ears fall off or something stupid like that. Oh, I so nearly fell asleep in that waiting room. At one point I grabbed my phone and got it out and did a little bit of recording of myself nearly asleep on that. That came out okay. Presumably you're looking at it now while I'm walking along, because future Kev's faffed about with the editing for it. Good news, blood tests all came back fine. The tablets aren't killing me. My blood pressure down to 147/78, which for those of you who are normal healthy people, you're probably still thinking, oh, that's a bit high, Kev. I refer you back to the very first video of the daily vlogs, which was on the 1st of January, when it was, I can't even remember the exact figure. It was massively higher than that though. So we've got a slightly different combination of drugs on the go now, and for the first time in probably 10 years, that top figure is down below 150, bottom one below 80. This is unheard of in Kevland. I'd like to think some of the lifestyle changes I've made as well have contributed towards that. I think I didn't weigh myself. I completely forgot actually. I was too busy being blown away by how low my blood pressure was. But I reckon I've lost about a stone since we started this. The pace has fallen off it a little bit, but I have started Lelujo Eats Nothing Tasty, L-E-N-T, that started today. So I had grapes instead of normal food, and fingers crossed, drop a little bit more weight, everyone's happy. I've just received my press pass for EGX Resd as well, so I'm going to be down at Tobacco Dock in London on Saturday the 1st of April, I think that is. I'm just travelling down for the day, so if you're going to be at Resd as well, let me know down in the comments. We can arrange a little meet up for the day and that will be grand. Now I need to go to Tesco because Sprogget is off his food. There's something wrong with salt and vinegar, Walker's salt and vinegar crisps at the moment, which is one of the few things he eats, but they've changed something imperceptible to the rest of us on the packet. We've had the packet side by side and can't work out what's different, but when we give him a pack, he turns it over, just puts it really close to his eye and inspects this part on the back and then just completely rejects them, won't eat them, they're making him retch. We found an old multi-bag from the garage that hopefully Clive didn't get his dirty little mouse paws on, but it's like 2-3 weeks old. He ate them fine, no problem. So they've changed something because of the way his mind works. Irrelevant the fact that they're identical crisps inside, because there's a tiny little change to the packet, he's not eating them. So I need to go to Tesco, stock up on some other things that we know he likes, and hope that we can get him back eating something, because his weight was getting dangerously low at one point, where a couple of weeks ago we were 3 or 4 pounds away from him being admitted to hospital to be force fed, which that's a horrible scenario that just wouldn't work with him, because we can't get him to eat at home. He's not going to eat sat in a hospital. They're literally going to have to sedate him and force food into him through a tube, presumably, which doesn't even bear thinking about. It's just awful. And it's not a solution to the problem either. It's just cramming food into him and really stressing him out about food, and we don't want to add another thing for him to get stressed out about. So we've been through this kind of thing before. We had a bit of a problem a few years ago because he used to drink Pepsi Max, I think it was, until they started putting pictures of footballers on the cans, and he doesn't like pictures of faces looking at him. So the moment they started putting them on the cans, he couldn't drink them anymore because they had faces on, and he'd just take the cans straight out of the room. But we eventually shifted him over onto caffeine-free Diet Coke, which in the end is an improvement. But there was a day in there where he was admitted to hospital for dehydration because he just wasn't drinking anything, and there's no telling him. So I'm going to go to Tesco, buy one of everything I've ever seen him eat, and hopefully he'll pick some or all of it out and have something to eat, so that we don't have to it's not a good thought. Food and scales news. His social worker is just as concerned about this eating as we are, so we are getting some some batteries for our scales, because we think that's what's wrong with it. And fingers crossed that means we'll A, be able to weigh him and keep them up to date with his weight, and B, I will have a weigh-in for you tomorrow morning. Right, Rupert. Biscuits? You want them? Yeah. You want some biscuits? How about cobs? Do you want these? Want those ones? No. No? How about crumpets? No. No? How about toast with jam? Yes. You want some toast with jam? Yeah. We can do some toast with jam as well. And then we've got scales batteries, so I have to weigh in tomorrow.